All right, so if you can picture your drunk uncle's old decrepit deer stand and a modern e-bike that actually looks cool, and they, got together, this is probably what you would get, kind of. This is my Gas Trail 2.0, and when I was gonna buy this thing, I was looking for some reviews and stuff like that, and I couldn't really find much on it. So I thought I would do a little, not necessarily a review because I don't think I'm particularly qualified for that, but just a little, I guess, talk about my first like couple months with this thing. And you're probably asking why I put all this really ugly camo stuff all over it, and it's because the looks of it stock really weren't my jam, and looks are subjective. So 99.9% of people probably think it looks way worse now than it did before, but it looked very Euro, and I guess you could call it that, but just wasn't really me. Anyways, the whole reason I bought this thing, even though it really didn't suit my eye, is because they were super cheap. Gas was doing a special where you could buy a dirt bike and get one of these for free for a while. I don't know if they're still doing that, but I do know even if you just look online, you can get these things super, super cheap right now. So yeah, I thought I would do a little thing just talking about mine in case anyone was curious kind of how it was. So to go over kind of the basics of this thing, it has a aluminum frame, which I like. The Yamaha motor in it, which I haven't ridden that many, so maybe I'm not that qualified to talk about that, but it has worked really well for me, everything I need. RockShox's Revelation fork, which I think is their kind of entry mid-level fork, maybe. But to be honest, I run Domains and Zebs on all my other bikes, and this thing feels just fine. I don't have any issues with it. The shock is RockShox, I don't even know, Monarch or Deluxe or something, but I did already blow the shock, but I think that's my own doing because I always pump shocks up like as stiff as they can go and then do jumps on them. And so yeah, also this thing's a 2022, so it's probably been sitting in a warehouse for years. And anyways, that's not that big of a deal. They're gonna warranty it. So yeah, and then it has SRAM, these DB8 brakes, which I think is kind of their entry level 4-piston brake. And usually I don't like SRAM entry level brakes, but these are actually really good. So yeah, I have no complaints about the brakes. I was pleasantly surprised by that. It came stock with the SRAM SX drivetrain, which everyone knows it's not ideal. And I blew the derailleur out already, and I'm actually running a Shimano one on there right now, which is not factory, but it works okay for what it is. Like I said, I knew I was going to tear this thing apart and rebuild it anyways. Yeah, so that's the gist of it. And I think for the price, you can pick one of these up for, well, if you buy a dirt bike, maybe you can weasel your dealer into giving you one for free. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Probably they may have ended that deal. But at the worst case scenario, you can get these things online for like 2,500 bucks, which to me is just a steal for a bike like this. So for the price you're paying, I think all these components and stuff work just fine. The Geo on the bike feels good. Everything like that, I really don't have any major complaints. If I would have spent 6 or 7 grand, then yeah, maybe I would expect more. But for the price, I think this thing is pretty sick, honestly. I've been riding this thing quite a bit, just in DFW. I took it on a little trip to Arkansas. And so, yeah, I'll throw some clips in here just so you can see what just kind of average chubby dude like me is doing on one. And if you're thinking about buying one of these and getting the really good deals they're offering on it, hopefully this kind of gives you some info and helps out a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching. Maybe the next video, this thing will not look so crazy and ugly, and I'll finish it up and do another video on it then.